Hey, everybody. Thanks for jumping on. I'm here with Nicole Smith Woodard, a realtor out of Dallas, Texas. She's got a great story to tell. We're going to have a good conversation. Stick around. Let's do it. There we go. Nicole, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Are you getting some weather down there in Dallas? Is it?
It came and went it came, was weather, and then it's moved on. So perfect. It's 70 degrees and sunny today.
Oh, there you go. I know how it is down there. You get down to like, what 35 and they close all the schools and it's
It's beautiful. I'm a fifth generation Texan. I'm used to the inconsistency. There's no way to predict. So just enjoy it.
For sure. I mean, Colorado, it's like, Mother Nature, this time of year, we start getting a little ADD, with Mother Nature. It's like you get all four seasons in one day. It happens. So anyway, but I appreciate your time. Thank you for jumping on. Seriously. Definitely a lot of respect from afar. We haven't gotten to know each other really well, but I know you've done some trainings with our group here at EXP and whatever, just been around for a long, long time in the business. So let's talk about it. Tell me some of your story. You fifth generation Texan, been in real estate. You got in real estate in 1997. Is that right?
1995.
95. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in pharmaceutical sales at the time. And what I really wanted was freedom. So I love the freedom team with EXP. I wanted freedom to set my own schedule, freedom to set my own goals, freedom to generate the amount of income that I wanted to generate that I knew I could do. So that's what got me into real estate in the first place. And I just love it. I love the people. I love the process. I love the wealth building opportunities that comes from people owning real estate. So that's what brought me in, and that's what keeps me here.
Right. So a long time. You've seen lots of changes over the years. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, go back to, there's a lot of new agents in the last few years, especially a lot of people. And of course, right now with the market shift going on and stuff, you've been through different market shifts. I've been through different market shifts. What do you, not to go too far into the future here, but what do you see going on right now? What would you tell a brand new agent who just got licensed a couple of years ago about, right now, this market? What would be some advice you could give them?
This is a normal market, and define normal, right? Like normal changes. But to your point, what we've experienced nationally in 2020, 2021, and for that matter in 2022 is not normal. And so there is no, and to think that this is an industry where history does leave clues, but history does not necessarily repeat itself. But the more you can educate yourself about what has happened in the past, the more intelligently you can talk about what might or might not happen in the future. But more than anything, this business is about building trust with people you care about. And so, and let me restate that, people you care about. So if you're thinking that this is a get in, get rich, get out kind of game, that I don't think is, well, I'm sure some people do, but that's not the game I've been playing for the last 27, 28 years. So, you build trust by demonstrating your competence. And one of the ways you demonstrate competence is being able to speak intelligently about what has happened in the past. So one of the things that I bring to the table to my clients in 2023 is I survived 2008, 2009, 2010, and can speak to that. And what I tell people today is life changes. The life changing events is what triggers a real estate response, whether they're going to buy or they're going to sell. So regardless of the market, regardless of interest rates, which by the way, my first mortgage was at 10.5%. So this, 6 or 7 or even higher seems crazy compared to the 2 or 3 or 4, but it's still a reasonable price to finance your wealth building machine, your home. So people are still going to get divorced. They're still going to get married. They're still going to have children. They're still going to be empty nesters. They're still going to get promotions. They're still going to get relocated. All those life-changing events that prompt a real estate change is still going to happen. If you're in relationship with people who trust you, that you care about, then you're going to have the opportunity to help them in that process. We're seeing data that suggests that the number of homes being sold has already and will probably continue to decline. So the number of opportunities to get paid may or may not be as prolific, but they're still going to happen. And so and property values, at least in our market, are continuing to increase. So even though our units sold year over year is down 30%, the unit value, the average value, is up 18%. So if you're a homeowner, another reason to if you're not already, might as well be one, get in that game. The values are indicating that they will continue to increase.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and to rent, who cares what the interest rates are? You're paying 100%. Interest if you're renting, so if there's ways to do it, it's still a great time to buy. Absolutely, for sure. One of the things, and you share all that, because there's so many things that do happen that can necessitate we need a bigger place, or we need to downsize, or we need to make a move of some sort. One of the things I did a training here just a few days ago for a group of agents, and I was sharing about just the power. Like, I've been using so much video anymore, and sending like video messages to people. So just to put this out there, it just reminds me, as you said all this, I'm just going to throw this out as just a tidbit for people, like, to take a video message, go through Facebook, whatever, and you see those life events on there. You see a happy anniversary with a couple, or a home anniversary. You sold them a house 4 years ago and whatever. Send them a video message congratulating them on the anniversary. They just announced that they're having a baby in October. Send them a video message. Hey, I saw your post. Congratulations. That's awesome. Don't ask for business. Just connect. Just be a human being and send them, just a nice message. Personalize it with their name in it, so they know it's not just a canned message that you send to everybody you see on Facebook who's having a baby.
Exactly.
The birthday messages. Send a birthday message instead of just commenting "Happy birthday." Send a message, to that person. Hey, hey, Nicole, I saw it was your birthday. Just want to say happy birthday. Hope you have a great year. If I could, anything I could do for you, let me know. But man, it's great to connect here. Have a great year, whatever, and just be done. Yeah. Just a quick message. Happy birthday.
Absolutely. It's an investment in the relationship that, may or may not have started over real estate, but certainly may include real estate. And how better to stay connected than showing signs of your commitment to them, taking time out of your day to wish them a happy birthday. I think it's great.
Yeah. The video message, I found that people can connect with that. There's a group that I'm a part of, and where this came from, back on, it was a couple of weeks ago, there's a lady in that group. She's a realtor, and she sent a video message. She got a $3.2 million listing from sending a video happy birthday message. Right time. It hit them. Wow. It's so great to hear from you. Wow. Just remind me, I should have given you a call a couple weeks ago. We're talking about moving this summer and blah, 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 whatever. And she got the listing and from a birthday message. What a great idea.
Yeah. And a great return on investment.
Yeah, for sure. And 20 seconds on your phone. So go back. Did you have a quick start at the beginning in your career? I mean, or was it, it seems like it's a ramp up time for most people. Like, what was it like those first few years in the business for you?
So that's a great question. And when you say, put yourself in the shoes of a new agent, I transitioned from pharmaceutical sales to real estate. It took me 1.5 years to, from the time I got licensed to the time I said, you know what, I can replace my salary. My pharmaceutical had a base salary company car with a bonus pool, but the bonus pool was so random. And if you knocked it out in President's Club one year, they raise your goals so high that the next year you're on the bottom of every list. And that's, as a salesperson, that's counterproductive. And so I saw the value of having the opportunity to set my own goals in real estate. And so, but that first 1.5 years, I shadowed a successful agent. She referred me business. I paid her for those opportunities. She mentored me. I've done the same with several folks in my world, where, you definitely, if money is your number one goal, and let's face it, that's why most of us do this for a living. It's our livelihood. We make money when we provide the service. But if that is your number one goal, because you have to pay your mortgage or you have to pay your child's school tuition, that have to freaks people out. So if you are in a have to situation, then my recommendation, at least what I did, was make sure you've got that source of income. Maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's your full-time job, and this is a side gig, until you get it to the point where you can do what you do without attachment to the closing, certainly not spending the commission before it's earned, and not even earned, because we earn our commission in a lot of ways before it's actually, the check is actually cut and in your checking account. So I do see a lot of people that I feel like they get into real estate with, the pie in the sky dreams. And by the way, all very attainable. This is certainly an industry where anybody can do anything, and some do, right? But if you're trying to offset income from a salaried job, the first 30, 60, 90 days, odds are stacked against you. Right. So at least in my experience. So I would encourage folks to, by all means, have all their ducks in a row. This is certainly a way you can transition from full-time, part-time to full-time, or in my case, back to part-time. If you want, and that's the beauty, that's the freedom that comes from having a real estate license, from having a database of people that refer business to you. But for that new agent, definitely have that comfort of knowing that this is an on-the-job training, that you are going to be very well compensated when you're compensated, and let that be secondary to really loving on people and taking care of people and serving them in this particular way, helping them transition from house A to house B or city A to city B.
Sure. Provide value, as much value as possible. We get paid what we're worth. I think in so many ways. And some people think we're overpaid, whatever, but man, I just think about, the process that we go through. There's so many things that the general public just has no idea what goes on in a realtor's world, during a transaction.
And it's almost unfortunate that we do get paid as a percentage of the sales price of a property, because our commitment's the same. I know whether it's a $3 million listing or a $300,000 listing, my process, I teach on systems, right? My listing system is the same. The numbers, the data, the same. The analysis that I do, my negotiating technique, my contract building skills, all of those are equally applicable regardless of the price point. And I think that's important too, to tell new agents, is everybody's the same. This process is the same. Every client we represent, if they're selling their home, they want top dollar. If they're buying the home, they want the house. And the market the last few years, they might or might not get it. They want the house and they want it for the best price in terms that they can. And so regardless of the price range, regardless of the number of commas in that sales price, our process, our behavior, our commitment to our clients should be the same. And I believe that. So it is almost unfortunate sometimes, because some of the ones that are your first timers, maybe the lowest dollars, those are the ones you work the hardest for, and the check at the end of the deal just doesn't compute. But I've also been doing this long enough to know that there are situations where I might sell a listing 2 or 3 or 4 times, right? Like opts out in the first one, opts out in the second one, doesn't appraise in the third one. I only get paid one time, right? But like you, I believe we are compensated in direct proportion to the amount of value we bring to this world. And so value is defined in so many different ways. So maybe it's that free market analysis, or like the gentleman, perfect example, I helped him lease out the home he currently owns, which lease listings, everybody knows, is zero return on investment. You do it as a service. You do it as a favor because you're building a relationship with this client. I helped him buy the new house, but 2 years later, his son-in-law is going to become his new tenant. Hey, could you send me a blank lease form? Of course, right? Like that's something that's well beyond the scope of what I was hired and paid to do 2 years ago, but it's something I was asked to do because I established myself as a person he could call. I've been training 300 families for the last 20 something years. Call me when you need me. And guess what? They do. And it's not always to buy or sell. So I had the opportunity to continue to bring value, continue to love on these folks well beyond the term of the contract that maybe they signed for me to list their property or sell their property. Yeah. And I think that's where sometimes deals appear to be easy or fall in your lap, where the consumer might think we're being overpaid for that particular deal. But in the grand scheme of things, at the end of the year, would you look at what our compensation is relative to the amount of money and time we spend on our education, on our vehicles, on our dues, on our just professional wherewithal. I mean, it costs money to breathe in this business. So, so
all the certifications, the education,
everything.
The insurance, I mean, there's so many things that we have to, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That first year full time, I did offset, or I grossed the same amount I had in pharmaceuticals. And I thought, should have had a higher goal, because in pharmacy, the salary that came with the car and it came with benefits, and all of a sudden I'm paying that off the top line. It's a little bit different, but I learned from that.
For sure. Now, you also mentioned you had a good mentor at the beginning. You said for about a year and a half, you were with a mentor. Have you had any other coaching along the way? Have you ever been in any coaching platforms, programs, different things?
Always. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's, we can't coach ourselves. So I think there's a lot of different opportunities for coaching. And I think it's important to lean into sources of information that are in alignment with your core values. And so I was with the Brian Buffini organization for about 10 years. And that's where this, calls, notes, and pop buys, and just the basics of relationship building. I wanted a relationship-based database. And so that I totally bought into that. But at some point I stopped doing the coaching with them because I wanted to take it up a level. So there was several years where I coached with another organization that was like that on steroids, still very relationship based, but much, much more. And then I've had, life coaching, because I believe that we are holistic. Like there is no such thing as work-life balance when you are a real estate professional. Right. The more I believe real estate is a daily opportunity for personal growth and development. So whether it's business coaching, teaching you how to negotiate, lead gen, market, all those tactical things, if underneath that your mindset is flawed, and I say flawed, I'm talking about myself, like I needed a couple of adjustments to my mindset. So a lot of the coaching that I've had is holistic. It's not real estate specific. I think that makes me a better human. I think when I'm a better human, I can be a better servant. I think when I'm a better servant, I can be a better realtor. And yes. So coaching is critical, I think, to, awesome. And investing in coaching. I mean, nobody does anything for free. And so, as we shouldn't, right? Because we are going to be compensated in some way, shape, or form. So I've always invested in that. Today, it looks like therapy. So,
well, it's money well spent. I mean, I don't know, all these books over here. I mean, it's just I'm always reading, listening to podcasts. Whatever. But going to the seminars, going to conferences. For 9 years, I was part of a coaching program. Greg Proctor. Which was it was like $20,000 a year, but it paid off 100 times over. I mean, it was so good. But just different things, connecting with people, learning how to connect, learn how to listen. I think we need to be such good listeners in this business. It's not just about racing off to closing to get the check. It's like, that's great. The checks will come. But if you connect with the people, they're going to use you again and again and again and send more people to you. And, when I had a team back, when I had a traditional team, I tried to just drill it into their mindsets. Like, look, the goal is not to get to closing to get the check. The goal is to get to closing to get the referral. Absolutely. If we did such a great job that we get there and man, we're just, and a month later popping by just to make sure everything's going okay. With, you've been here a month. Is there any, have you noticed anything? Any noises in the furnace? Is there any leaks anywhere that have popped? Anything that you need some help with? Like, let's talk about it. Let me know. Most of the time there's nothing, but they've been there a month and all of a sudden, well, there's this one little thing, this window over here, man. It's just whatever, and trying to help get that. I want this to be just a great relationship along the way. And they'll use you again and again and again and send more people to you. And to me, that's what it's about. It's a relationship business in such big ways.
Absolutely. You got it.
So when did you, 28 years, when did you see EXP? Let me ask you this. Where were you at before EXP? Were you at a franchise or independent company, or you were at a franchise?
Yeah. So except for 1 year when I got my broker's license in 1999. And so for 1 year I had my own shop.
Okay.
Okay. So what I learned was, no. I really like being belly to belly with buyers and sellers. So that I learned was that's about me. I've always found value in affiliating with a national brokerage. So whether it was with Keller Williams, that's where I started my career in 1995, back when there were 2,000 agents. And then I was with Remax for 10 years. I spent a couple of years at a Sotheby's franchise. And so I was introduced to EXP. Actually, some of my Remax friends buzzed off to EXP, but that was, I in hindsight, obviously, I mean, timing is everything, but I was approached when I was looking for, I knew that the Sotheby's franchise model, and I do believe, by the way, that wherever you are, there you are, be there and embrace it and love it. And if your needs change or the value, if what you're paying is, if the value of what you're paying for is in excess of what you're paying, then you're right where you need to be until your needs change. So I was at a very low cost Remax model, but I wanted more value for my broker. Well, that brokerage is not designed to give that, whereas Sotheby's is. So I shifted gears. I paid a whole lot more. And as it turned out, I didn't really get that much more. So I was looking for, okay, I'm making a business decision this time. So I was approached and didn't really know much about it. Certainly hadn't seen the whole presentation. I can tell you within a minute, the presentation, okay, where do I sign? Like, what the heck? Like, why did I know about this before? Like, literally, and everyone I've talked to about it, same thing. Like, this is for I truly believe any agent, at least in our market, that is selling 30 homes a year or more, they are major league missing the boat if they're not here at EXP. But I also realize, there is no one size fits all. I'm just so grateful that I was approached, took the time to look at the model and make the decision that I did. I joined in August of 2018. Okay. So I've been on board. I've iconed 3 times.
Can you explain to everybody that, because people who aren't familiar with EXP, explain what that is when you hit icon?
So the nice thing, first of all, EXP creates an environment that makes it easy for doers to do. Just like no distractions, just the training, the support, the people, the processes, the technology, the platform, all those things well ahead of its time. So I was already selling a lot of houses. I didn't need the things that, some people need and that we offer. We offer, in my opinion, the most robust options for any level of experience. I happen to be an experienced agent. I was selling 35, 40, 50 houses a year consistently. Wasn't looking for training. I wasn't looking for lead gen. I was looking for a model that helped me do my business more efficiently and put more money in my pocket. And so between the 80-20 split, which EXP has, and the cap of 16,000, that I wasn't going to jump ship for a couple $1,000, right? But what I saw the opportunity for as a producer at that level was once you pay into your cap, once you've capped at 16,000, you have an opportunity to get all of that back in stock. Now, how cool is that? Now, so I did that. So I've done that 3 times. I might or might not do it this year. I didn't do it last year by design. I'm on a track to exit. It's harder when you build a database of 300 families who call you when they need you. It's hard to say no. But yeah, so when you icon, they award you stock. There is a vesting time period. I'm not going anywhere, and I don't need the money I don't need the stock today, right? So that's what's been very powerful is as that stock vests, then now I have access to it, and I can tell you that what I paid 12, 14, 16,000 into EXP, I would have paid into any national brokerage anyway, at least, if not more. Because I do believe in the value of a national brand as it relates to the services I can provide to my clients. So hanging a shingle, saving a little bit of money, going to work at one of those, piddly little amounts per transaction, the value's not there to my client. I care most about bringing value to my client. This platform offers that for me and gives me an environment to not only streamline my business, but also to get this money back. So so anyway, it was fabulous. I also opt into the stock purchase plan, where you can choose for the first 5% of your commission to buy stock at a discount. Again, if I'm at a national brokerage, you're paying somebody a royalty. You're paying somebody something for that 5 or 6%, which I had done repeatedly over the entire course of my career until I got to EXP. So that was a no-brainer. Again, the money's leaving my pocket. Might as well buy stock at a discount. So
exactly.
Yeah,
10% return every time you do it, you know?
Right, to start with, just to start with.
Yeah.
So it, to me, again, when I saw the model, when I saw the opportunity, there's some details to the icon status, but suffice it to say, once you've capped, if you do 20 more deals, then you now fall into the icon category. The icon category also, it asks us icons to give back to the organization. And one of the ways I chose to do that was to teach a class on systems. What you probably know, Jeff, in your world is when you teach something, you become even better at doing it, holding yourself accountable to those things. And so I think that's really what helped. I'd been stagnating in that 15 to 17 million range as a solo agent for almost 10 years. I jumped to 25 million. Once I started implementing the very systems, interestingly enough, I was teaching on. So I give EXP Icon Program credit for that as well.
Wow, good for you. So last year you did hit Icon, but like you said, by design.
Well, that was 2021. So 2022, I had some big stuff happening. Life, my mother passed away. My brother-in-law battled cancer for a year. Life, just like, and I knew that I wanted to scale my business back. And so 2022, I did 7 million, 12 deals. And I love that I can. I love that I have this bank of stock that if I needed to create cash flow, I could. I love that this model supports the level of production that I want to do in any given year. Maybe I want to do 25 million next year. Okay. I can. I don't have to, but I can. And so what it's enabled me to do is to fill my days with other exciting things that I'm passionate about. I'm president-elect of my Rotary Club. That Rotary is an international service organization. We've got 125 members in my local club, movers and shakers in the community that I met through real estate, but discovered our shared desire to serve our community, to serve our planet. And so because of some of the options I now have as a result of being with EXP for the last 5 years, I don't have to worry about that next transaction. I can spend a lot more time thinking about ways I can give back.
Yeah. I just love that we have options here. I mean, I don't know, for 20, I've been in this business now 21 years. I mean, been here for 5. So, for 16 years, I got paid on what I did in this market, Colorado Springs. I got my commission check like everybody else out there. I still get that. But now I get stock with every closing. My wife and I have hit that icon status, whatever. We didn't hit it last year either by design. I mean, we've been able to slowly start pulling our business back because of the different revenue streams that come in here. As owners of the company with that revenue share or with that stock, we can also get revenue share for those that want to do it. I know that's not something you get some of that. It's not your focus at all, which is awesome. But you have the option. It's there if you want.
And not even focusing on it. I mean, it's several $1,000s a year just organically. And I'll get a check on the 22nd and go, need to go in and see which one of who had a great month. And I'm going to call them and thank them for having a great month.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and just, we're airing this, this is live right now, March 3rd of 2023. So just to say this for everybody watching the video down the road, it was just announced this morning at our company-wide meeting that we have every Friday, online, virtual, you can go if you want, but $202 million was paid back out to the agents last year in 2022 in revenue share. $202 million 1 year and $30 million in stock bonuses in equity.
I got some of that.
So
I know you did too.
Every closing we get it, whatever. And again, I love that it's there if we need it. We could cash out. There's all kinds of stories with that. Kathy Carter, Kathy, Kathy Carter, whatever, she paid off a couple of rental properties, sold some stock and paid them off. So now they just cash flow 100% for her and whatever, all that. My buddy Aaron Ken down there in Dallas paid off his house, his personal house.
I just saw him the other day,
you know?
at a
Did
at
you?
a
Yeah.
at a training. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, great guy, great friend of mine.
Agreed.
So anyway, and you paid off a car, right, with your
Oh yeah.
stock?
Well, I bought a
Yeah,
car. I just bought
bought a
it.
car. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? And I cashed in some stock and wrote the check. It was like I'm
Yeah.
driving around in my.
See, that's awesome. I mean, it's
I
like,
know.
it's just, it's there if you need it. It's there if you want
Yeah.
it, whatever. And yeah, so you're setting yourself up for the future, whatever. And then I know you said too, you pulled some out, put it into an annuity. Just there's
Hmm.
so many different things you can do with this to get set up. And I would tell everybody, get a financial advisor to work with you or somebody
Absolutely.
if you need that help, and just to make some smart decisions with it. But there's so many ways you can do this to set yourself up to actually have an exit plan
Yeah,
down the
which I
road.
didn't
I
have
mean,
before. I mean, I
no,
really thought I was going to do this until I died.
yeah,
And then, my husband started talking about retirement and the options and the freedom. And it's just like, wow, I never thought I would have this option. So I still may be working until I'm, 80. I don't know.
who knows? I mean, but here's if I do it, it's because I just want to do it and enjoy doing it, not because I have to. And that's the
Exactly.
thing. I remember when I first got licensed, and I've been in the business about 3 years. That's when I moved into Keller Williams. I went from an independent to Keller Williams, and I remember one of my first days in there, and I'm in the office and kind of just getting acclimated to the office. And I remember there's this old guy, and I mean, he had a cane, and literally like he's walking over to the copier, and he's making copies and whatever. And and I was like, who is that guy? I mean, and he was like 82. He's a
Hmm.
realtor.
Hmm.
And again, but his story, and I got to know, great guy, but he was doing it because he had to.
Hmm.
I mean, he literally had to, like, he had to have this closing because it's
Yeah.
like, he's still living like, deal to deal, month. It was still tight for him. And it's just, and it's sad to me. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it can be for so many agents. There's so many things out of our control,
Right.
that whether it's the economy or, I don't know, all kinds of health things, all kinds of things that can just wipe out savings or,
Right.
wipe out a plan,
Well, and
whatever. So
especially for agents in their 60s, my husband and I talk about this just about every day because he's on the like 10-month countdown. Is there was an article yesterday, 60% of people over 60 have zero money in savings, zero. And because, that's, I mean, for people that aren't able to just really thrive in their careers and their earning potential, then they don't have any left over, right?
yeah.
And so, and I think as a realtor before EXP, I didn't either. I mean, I was, I did some traditional investing and that kind of good stuff. I'm still in a couple of properties that I lived in as rentals and all that good stuff. But I think about our aging real estate agent population, and I think about the value of their database, but it's only as good as the deals they close this year, right? Whereas, when you couple the value of that database and the deals they close this year, and you're in a platform where your cost to your brokerage is minimal, and you have the opportunity to get that back in stock and buy that stock, just like for me, 5 years later, I have options today that I didn't have 5 years ago.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
so I really feel for my peers who are looking for that exit strategy, who like me didn't want to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the way I had for 25, 26 years. I hope more and more of them will see the opportunity as it's presented and take advantage of it the way we did.
For sure. I tell people all the time, at least look at it. If
Yeah.
it's not for you, it's not for you. But
Yeah.
you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
You saw it and just like got it like immediately. And I was kind of the same way. My wife and now for me, again, I saw it in January 2018.
Okay.
And there were like 4,000 agents in the whole
Mhm.
company. There were 12 agents here in Colorado Springs. I was number 13.
Wow.
And but I remember at the time thinking like, okay, like what's the catch? Is there a catch? Like this just sounds too good to be true, whatever. But I looked at, I'm like, what do I have to lose? Looks like I have a whole lot to gain. What if it does what I think it could do? And I will tell you, it's done way, way, way more than I ever thought it would do.
Same.
I can't imagine where we're going to be 5 years from now. I get so excited about that when I think about it. But it's just, I don't know. I was like, what do I have to lose? If it doesn't work, I'll go back to where I came from. They'll take me back.
Oh, yeah.
I never burned a bridge. I'm not going to do that.
Same.
But
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not locked in here like I'm not locked in anywhere else. I might as well try it.
I thought
And
the same.
5 years later, here we are. And I tell everybody all the time, it's like the absolute best business decision I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
Was making the move to this company. So I would just tell everybody out there watches, you owe yourself to at least look at it.
Yeah.
If you're friends with Nicole, or you've done a deal with Nicole and you're watching this, you've never seen this, call Nicole and just say, hey, Nicole, go ahead and show me, send me a video, show me whatever you can show me about EXP. You're not locked into anything. Just look at it and decide for yourself. If you might get it like she did, you might look at it and go, this is ridiculous. I don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, I had no intention of jumping. I had no intention.
I didn't either.
But I thought, you know what? But I thought I knew people were talking about it. And it's like, I pride myself on being all things real estate. And so why wouldn't I want to know about the compensation plan, what the platform involves, of a brokerage that was creating a lot of energy in and around itself. So that was kind of my thought. I had no intention of no. And then yes. So, but like you said, I would venture to guess people that you just don't know what you don't know. So it's a good thing to check out.
For sure. Yeah. Well, Nicole, I appreciate your time. It's been great to spend a little time with you here, and I know you're busy. So, definitely appreciate you getting on here. A lot to share. So guys, if you got any value out of this, be sure to hit the like button, share this with any of your agent friends out there. This is all over the platforms. If you have any questions for either Nicole or myself, put them in the comments. We'll be sure to get those answered and get back to you. I am adding videos like this. Almost every day we're adding videos now to the channel. So if you're on my YouTube channel, subscribe over there, hit the bell over there. You can get notified every time we do this. So anyway, Nicole, thank you very much. Guys, have a great weekend. Take care. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks.